One. Hi, I'm John Miglosh with the WDMA and the International Society for Strategic Marketing. Today we're going to be talking about sales and marketing. And surprisingly, decision makers say you're sending mixed messages. How could that possibly be? It's funny because I have two daughters in marketing and one who was in sales, like straight commission, you eat what you kill kind of stuff. And very different, and to the salesperson, I would tell her, ignore all of the sales tools you get from the corporation, and we'll build our own. And the corporation liked them so much, they put her on the panel to build new tools for the salespeople. And then she got into stuff. Then they promoted her into the technology wing of the company. Over 1,000 salespeople. She was the very youngest. And then at the conference, they said, "Where's your dad?" She said, "He doesn't work for you." The guy says, "What do you mean? He's the only one who understands what we do." So if you're one of my kids, there's an advantage in taking weird jobs because I've probably done them before. Anyway, so why is it that sales and marketing is so different? Well, I'll tell you one reason. When I was in straight commission sales before I got into marketing, way before. And you drive around little towns, 2-lane roads. I used to read books while I drove on 2-lane roads until, this semi almost ended up in my lap. What he was doing I guess he was on his side of the road. But what he was doing, well, anyway, I looked up and that wasn't good. So I got cured of that. I got cured of that habit. I used to read a lot of books while I was driving around. You get to this little town and you go, "Yeah, I'm going to get you now. I'm going to close those orders." I'd work from at least, get up, have a leisurely breakfast, work from about 11 to 12, have lunch, work till 2. I could still outsell most of the salespeople. Quit early on Friday. I used to have, and then I got a job selling printing, and I would sell my way to Grandma's house for lunch because she always had fresh baked pies and stuff. When you're in sales, especially if it's straight commission, you go where you want to go. Corporation, leads, bunch of baloney. You go and you shake hands and you talk and you say, "Joe in the other town, he's buying my stuff." "Oh, Joe, yeah, I know Joe. Okay, I guess I could give it a try." That's the way it was. It was great, And of course, you had no social life. There was no chats or cell phones or anything. I was a pioneer. Anyway, so then I get stuck in marketing, But luckily for me, it was direct marketing. And direct marketing is kind of like sales. We don't too much care about branding, I hate to say, but we care about what sells. Flat out. We got to sell something. If you can do branding along the way, that's really great. But if you can sell, that's even better. That's what everybody wants. My whole life, right? They've had it with the branding. They want to get some sales. They want to turn the company around, right? That's the way it is. I hate to say. Now, why would that build cultural differences? I had a boss, and he had an MBA from Harvard and a physics undergrad from Purdue. Go Purdue! Way to beat Ohio State. Anyway, and that was so beautiful. And that kid with cancer, that was so sweet. What a great story. Anyway, you got to sit there and watch it. See, when you do a news show, you got to keep up on all the news. Anyway, so the boss had this idea that he could program people and do personality tests. And if you saw my program on personality tests back a few days ago, there's just basically no basis for it. But I can tell you what was happening. He was getting some really lousy salespeople hired. Why? Because he was putting them through interview after interview, test after test after test, trying to make sure that they were really good salespeople. Finally, I said to him, "Hey, you know what? Real salespeople hate these kind of procedures. Real salespeople are out there kicking the tires and beating the bushes, and that's what they do. And the less you touch them, the more they like it." Okay? So what happens is the salespeople like that. Get the sales mindset in your head. You're trying to rope them in and rein them in and get them to fill out reports all day long. And what you really want is you really want them to get out into the field. I highly recommend The Machine, it's called. It's a book called The Machine. And it's about how salespeople should be making 4 calls a day, 5 days a week, 20 calls a month, and everything else can support that. But don't make them do all of it. Get them out there. Get them shaking hands. That's what they want to do. And that's why it's all messed up, is because you tell them they got to use their CRM machine, and they got to use this, and they got to hunt down their own leads, and they'll spend all day. You will hire the wrong people. If anybody's a decent salesperson, they will quit, and they'll go to your competition. And you've had it happen, haven't you? Right, okay. So, this is why you have to be careful of technology, which brings me over to my good friend, Tom Fishburne. Way over here, okay. Tom, where are you, Tom? Did I bonk Tom? No, there's Tom. Okay, here's today's cartoon from Tom. Are you ready to meet about digital transformation? We can't see your slides. Do you need to download the video plugin? We're restricted to Internet Explorer 7. I think that's so funny. I tried to email a slide deck, but it bounced back. Our limit is 1 megabyte. Dropbox, Google Docs. I don't think I can present to you. Can you fax it to us? This is and what Tom was writing about, it's really funny because he's down here. He's got another one. It's Chief Digital Officer, VP of Hype, Disruption, Buzzwords, Strategy, Ambiguity, Director of Shiny New Objects, Director of Overpromise, and the Manager of Business Results, but that's vacant. Tom is great. And here's what's going on. I wrote a comment on today's slides. Things are changing so fast that you can't change anything. You're afraid to change something because the next thing coming is going to disrupt everything, so why bother changing? And that's what it's like. Everybody's going crazy. You know what? Find something that actually gives you real information. Find something that works. And quit getting so nuts. I mean, what I wrote in the comments here, we used to do video conferencing with a guy in Moscow 20 years ago. He had a bare bulb. I said, the lighting isn't too good. He tipped his computer up, and you can see this one hanging from a wire, bare bulb. He was our main technology officer in Moscow. Anyway, it's okay. We need salespeople. We need marketing people. And marketing people, you just got to chill. And I say this to my daughters. They say, but the salespeople, they tell me that an RFP is due tomorrow. And I tell them I need 24 hours at least. And, and they won't even review it. And I'm just going to make stuff up. I said, that's fine. No one reads those things anyway. It's all about sales. Wait, I got to check the time. Wait, so let's go back here. So I get back to on the rails here. So they said, okay, here, LinkedIn did a really nice report, 2018. This is from last week. 97%. That means it's absolutely a consensus. Consider sales technology very important. Yeah. When my daughter went to work for this sales company, nobody used the CRM. Nobody. They had their own. Here it says, sales professionals rely on their customer relationship management systems. Yeah, theirs. Their black book or their list of connections. But it's not, they don't want to put it in the corporate one because when they get fired or they quit, they want to take it with them. Sorry, that's why you should read the book The Machine. It's great. If you got sales and marketing together, it's the first book I've read that gets at this, at the fundamental mental difference between the hunters and the gatherers. The marketing people are there, they're gatherers. Now you can live a lot better once you start farming than you could when you were just hunting and living off the land. You never see like heavyweight hunters. You got to have farming for that. Okay, so it'll run the company better to have the gatherers, but you gotta channel those hunters. The Machine. Read that book. Okay, so marketers use a data management platform, but sales teams have defined sales territories. You see the problem right there? The sales guys are running around, driving around, talking to people, looking for smokestacks or whatever they have these days, looking for somebody to call on. The marketer's there, up there in the blimp, looking over the landscape. Totally different. Totally different. So get that book, The Machine. You can see the head thing. I've been in both worlds. I enjoy both worlds, but it's really different. And I probably do marketing from the perspective of sales. Time's up. I love that little Deedle-Dee thing. Okay, if you like this, download the Periscope app so you get alerted, so we get more interaction. Was I supposed to say good morning? I don't know. Yeah, you can say good morning. Okay. Get the Periscope app so you can get online and see what's what. Okay?